Good morning, students. Hope everyone is fine and enjoying good health. I am a teacher of biology. I welcome you all in e-learning class. Hope everyone is enjoying e-learning classes. As you know, we have already started our syllabus of Unit 8 More Organ Systems. Today we will continue our Unit 8. In my previous classes, we have discussed about reflex actions. I hope you have understood it, dear students. Today the learning objectives are to understand passing the message between nerve cell. What is synapse? What are neurotransmitters? Reflex actions to various stimuli. Now we are taking a review of previous lesson. What is neuron and how nerve impulse travels along the neuron? Now students, hope everyone remembers. What is neuron? Neurons are composed of 3 parts. Cell body, the main processing center of cell. Dendrites, the branching extensions of the cell body that conduct nerve impulses towards the cell body. Third one is axon, a single branch which conduct nerve impulses away from the cell body. Myelin sheath and neural lemma are coverings. Hope everyone remembers the definition of nerve impulse, which is messages travels along with nerve cells as tiny electrical signals, or impulses. Impulse transmission is done by terminal end fibers, are located at the end of axons, and they transmit impulses leaving the neuron across the synapse to the next neuron. In this slide, you can view the passing of message between the nerve cells. Impulses travel from one nerve to another by a special ink called a synapse. The branching end of one nerve cell lie very close to the cell body of another nerve cell. However, they do not actually touch. When an impulse moves along one nerve cell, it releases a chemical that diffuses across the synapse and stimulates the other nerve cell. Dear students, now we are discussing about synapse and neurotransmitters. Synapse is small gap or space between the axon of one neuron and the dendrite of another. The neurons do not actually touch at the synapse. It is junction between neurons, which uses neurotransmitters to start the impulse. In the second neuron, or an effector which is muscle or gland, the synapse ensures one-way transmission of impulses. Neurotransmitters are chemicals in the junction, which allow impulses to be started in the second neuron. Dear students, in this slide, we are discussing how messages travel between neurons. Messages travel along a single neuron as electrical impulses. But messages between neurons travel differently. The transfer of information from neuron to neuron takes place through the release of chemical substances into the space between the axon and the dendrites. These chemicals are called neurotransmitters, and the process is called neurotransmission. The space between the axon and the dendrites is called the synapse. When neurons communicate, an electrical impulse triggers the release of neurotransmitters from the axon into the synapse. The neurotransmitters cross the synapse and bind to special molecules on the other side, called receptors. Receptors are located on the dendrites. Receptors receive and process the message. Dear students, in this slide you are viewing a neuron and its different parts, which are nucleus, cell body, axon, and synapse. In a nerve cell, one nerve cell can have many synapses. You can also view the synaptic end bulbs. Now here one question arises in mind. Why you have so many responses to one stimulus? The answer would be, one nerve cell can have many synapses with other nerve cells. So lots of connections can be made. This is why you can respond in lots of ways to one stimulus, along with moving your hand away from a hot plate. You might yell out in pain or even jump up and down. All of these actions need their motor nerve cells to carry the message. Students, hope you understand it well about passing the message between the nerve cell. Now students, we are discussing some examples of reflex actions. When the stimulus is flash of bright light, then the reflex action will be pupil of eye gets smaller. When the stimulus is insect touches eyelid, then the reflex action will be eye blinks. When the stimulus is food gets into windpipe means goes down the wrong way, then the reflex action will be coughing. When the stimulus is hand touches a live electric wire means electric shock, then the reflex action will be arm moves away quickly. When the stimulus is you are hungry and smell food, then the reflex action will be saliva in the mouth means mouth waters. When the stimulus is body gets hot, then the reflex action will be sweating. When the stimulus is body gets cold, then the reflex action will be shivering. Dear students, your homework is review the lecture thoroughly. Complete the given worksheet. Write the given questions and answers in your notebooks. Thanks for listening.